Oh boy.
Who had extra jalapenos?
Oh my gosh. Last night we're in the dugout. I'm talking to the kids. By the way, if you've never hung out in a dugout, it is so much fun, especially when you're winning. I'll get into that later in the sports section. But I'm hanging out with some of the kids. Keep in mind, they're like 11, 12-year-olds. Some of them are 10. Yeah, I think that's the youngest is like right around 10. But anyway, somehow they come over to me, two guys. One's named nickname Q. The other one earned the nickname via Coach Chris as El Gato Grande, the big cat. Anyway, so they go, "Hey, Coach, do you like jalapeno nachos?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love jalapeno nachos." And they're like, "Really?" Because I'm white. I'm assuming that. But they're like, so you eat it a lot?" I was like, "I love spicy food." Um, Part of my wife's family is from Mexico. You would never know when you meet her, but yeah. So there's a good chunk of Mexican influence on her side of the family. And then I started telling them, I was like, I used to work at Chipotle, and I used to love when the employees would bring in their food from home because I mean, Chipotle is good and all, but when they bring it in authentic Mexican food and you're chowing down on that, oh my God, another level of greatness. But it got into me telling the story of when me being uber white, they would say, "Hey, my nickname, oddly enough, was Gato." Because they couldn't say Scott very well. They couldn't say the in Scott. So it sounded like they said cat, like cot. And then my brother was there by chance and he's all, "Oh, it sounds like cat. Let's just call him Gato." So for like 2 years, my nickname was Gato at Chipotle. But anyway, they would, before we would open, you do all your prep work and say we opened at 11. Usually Chipotle was really good about trying to open at 10:45. We say we open at 11, but we aim to open early. And that I thought that was a really cool thing that they did. But we'd always like eat before and they would always bring out the good looking peppers, the ones that looked spicy. They have a little bit of a rough spots on them. Those are usually the ones that are they have like little veins, like brown veins on it. Those are usually the ones that have spice in it, right? So they put it on the table and they would bet who could eat it. Put the money down. Dude, I used to do that all the time. And if you ever want to do this, make sure it's not bigger than your thumb. Okay. Don't eat don't eat a jalapeno bigger than your thumb because it's going to be harder to swallow. And I'll tell you why. If you want to make some money, easy money, this is what they used to do. They'd put money down. They stopped doing it after like 3 times. Uh, they'd put money down on the table. I think the biggest payload I got was $50, and you eat it without spitting it up or throwing up or anything like that. I would pop it in my mouth, pretend to chew it, and just swallow it whole. Swear to God, easiest way to do it. Sure, it might burn later, but hey, it's totally worth it. That's beer money for some people, or weed money, or Taco Bell, or I don't know. If you work at Chipotle, you probably aren't going to Taco Bell. But anyway, I just thought that was funny. The kids are like, "What?" And they're like, essentially mental noting, like, "You don't need to chew it. You just pretend." Great. But if any of them choke on a jalapeno, that's not my fault, okay? I mean, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. Come on. You have those weird stories from your jobs. Hell, it might be the job you're working at now, but there's always those weird things that you guys do in the off time. Like, who can eat the most cheese or who can weld the fastest or, whatever. Who can take a nail gun to the dick? Oh, Jimmy over there did it. He's in the hospital though. Listen, if you got any weird work stories, you got to send them our way to huffpodcast@gmail.com. Those are always fun, especially if it's in an industry that I've never been in. I've been in the grocery stores, I've been in restaurants, and of course, media. Media didn't, we just talked dirty in the breaks. Nobody ever really did anything bad. But restaurants, yeah, usually there's some weird stuff. It's usually involving who can eat this or that type of thing. But anyway, hope you guys are having a great day. A lot going on today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the like button wherever you're consuming this. And if you can, hit the notification button. That way, every time there's a new episode, you're going to be notified. And if you're listening on, say, Spotify or some of those other things out there, you can get it to automatically download. So that way, we're going into the road trip season. So you can get it automatically downloaded. It hardly takes any space up. That's what's great, especially if you're listening to audio, is it takes up hardly any space on your device. And then if you're going on a road trip, no interruptions. There you go. Pretty simple. Also, remember today's show is presented to you by Roof Goat USA, as well as Kirkwall Group. And you know what? Kirkwall Group, if you're, if you're, I'm trying to pull up the script. If you're running a business and you need help with the back of the house, you need someone with experience and is trustworthy, you need the Kirkwall Group. They got over 30 years of experience. That's a lot. And Richard and the Kirkwall Group understands that you and your business deserve someone who's efficient, timely, accurate, cost-effective, focused on your success, and is working to save you money. Kirkwall Group can help you with your bookkeeping, accounting management services like CFO, controller, accounting manager, projects, and support. I was looking at Kirkwall Group's Facebook page the other day, and they're talking about that, how they love to help people with their back of the house stuff with their businesses. And just because you already paid your taxes doesn't mean you don't need to be preparing for next round of taxes. So you've got to get them in your back pocket and go forward with them, because they can also help you with your tax planning and preparation, whether it's income, property tax, sales, and use tax. Go to kirkwallgroup.net, kirkwallgroup.net. See everything they can do for you and your business. Again, kirkwallgroup.net. Sign up for a free 30-minute consultation, which is nice, free consultation, see what your next steps are. Maybe, you're like, you know what? Yeah, this is the right move for me. There you go. It's kirkwallgroup.net. Kirkwall Group, we count what counts for you. Sorry, I forgot to move the copy up into my rundown. Listen, rundowns are great if you'd use them right, but apparently I didn't use it right, okay? I don't know what I'm doing today. Imagine a big snot bubble coming out of my left nostril and then popping. You know what we need to do now is jump into headlines.
Let's go! Let's go! And now, here are the headlines.
Okay, this technically could have gone in the mailbag, but I'm like, this is too good. Dave sent this to me on Twitter, and he said, dude, what is going on? This is like the third one in less than a week's time. He said, why is this suddenly a thing? What is it? An Amazon driver defecates in front of at least 2 LA homes on Mother's Day. Of all fucking days, Mother's Day. So I have the news report that I'm going to play you. It is full of goodness. Ready? Here we go.
Delivery driver for Amazon can't seem to hold it in on more than one occasion. A woman is seen about to leave an Amazon package at this porch off Llano Drive in Woodland Hills around 5:30 Mother's Day morning. But she also leaves a smelly surprise. She relieves herself, does number 1 and number 2 before pulling up her shorts and walks away. The homeowners were expecting a Mother's Day gift.
When I woke up, my husband said he was going to bring me some coffee and a pastry. He went downstairs and was greeted by not only one package, but a second inappropriate, disgusting package, which was essentially like human feces and looked to be urination.
Tamara Bedoy and her family could not believe their eyes after watching the footage from their surveillance cameras.
You can see the mess that she left. So I was really disgusted. It was a horrible experience. And my husband, unfortunately, had to pick it up on Mother's Day.
Pick it up!
She
It's
was
Mother's
not
Day!
done. On another delivery later that morning, the worker is seen urinating on the front property of a different Woodland Hills home. She pulls down her shorts, does her business, and takes off like nothing ever happened.
I kind of like clutched my pearls a little bit because I'm like, really? A second time? It was kind of like, wow, still not done.
It's unclear why the driver just couldn't wait to find a restroom. The incidents happened 20 minutes apart, the homes less than 1 mile from one another.
That was disgusting, like very disgusting.
Because this is something you guys would never do, right?
No.
Well,
You probably had Taco Bell before.
Amazon reps say the driver was an independent contractor, adding in a statement, quote, "We're deeply disturbed by the unacceptable behavior of this delivery driver and apologize to the customers involved. We immediately identify the driver and they are no longer delivering on behalf of Amazon."
Mom, why are you home? Aren't you supposed to be working? Well, I got fired. Why? Well, I was taking shits everywhere. I mean, come on. Those are 20 minutes apart. First of all, those kids stole the show. Say she probably had Taco Bell. If I'm Taco Bell, I'm reaching out to those kids and giving them gift cards. Be like, fuck yeah, get some diarrhea with us. It's good. By the way, I did that the other day. My son hit that. I think it was the first time he hit a home run. He's hit 2 home runs. We'll get into all that stuff later. But anyway, the other day when he hit his first home run, he wanted like fucking steak dinner, and I was like, I'll take you to Taco Bell. How about that? Are you guys surprised? Come on, you've been listening to this. Are you surprised that I'm like, steak or Taco Bell? Ooh. I get my usual. Listen, I love food. 3 bean burritos. But here's the thing that's annoying. They did a really good job at this location off 144th in Washington. Great job. A little kudos to you guys. But they put tons of beans in there. It didn't spill. They did a fantastic job. But there were so many beans in there. As I'm eating it, I'm like, this is as delicious as it is. This is the cliche. This is going to get me later. And sure enough, the next day, I'm sitting in the dugout, and I said, hey, guys, I just want to warn you. I had 3 bean burritos last night, and it's starting to make my tummy bubbly. And the boys are like, what? So kudos to those kids for being funny about it. And what the hell? I get that. Well, what's funny is like, I don't know the rules. I know I have some delivery drivers out there that listen. I know Jefferson, I believe he works for FedEx, does a great job. As far as I can tell, I don't know. Maybe he sucks. Who knows? Who knows, Jefferson? I assume he does great. But I'm wondering, is it a huge pain in the butt for you to go and park somewhere and go use a restroom? What is that like? Maybe I tweet this out real quick, and we'll see if I can get somebody to respond. If you drive for FedEx or UPS, sorry guys, this is my brain because I didn't think about this before. If you drive for FedEx or UPS, is it God, I'm slow typer to pull over and find a bathroom. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what I'll fill you in on that if somebody responds. Because I know, like I said, I know Jefferson listens and he works for, I believe it's FedEx, and he'll respond every now and then. But obviously, if he's working, he's not going to. I just find that interesting. Like, I always think like we had a boss once when I worked at the radio station that would get irritated if somebody had to leave to go use the restroom. I'm like, dude, if somebody has to shit or pee or throw up or whatever's going on, you can't make them not. We had a couple bad managers. I wouldn't say a lot of bad managers, just a couple where you're like, dude, you know this is a violation, right? Of basic human rights, you fucking dicks. No. And then I fucking push back on them, and then they find out, okay, yeah, you have to give bathroom breaks. What the fuck, man? It makes you wonder, like, how many employers just abuse their employees because employees are scared to stand up. Dang, man. I think I lucked out with that because I was able to stand up. One, being a former manager myself, and two, being in the media. I think it's easy. I think it's a little bit more fearful for management going, okay, they have they could be behind the scenes, but if I fuck up, I'm more likely to get in trouble because this is a big platform and it can make a lot of noise. Anyway, so I'm just curious, like in regards to this, why would she think that that's okay? I get that she was contracted to deliver, but you're telling me because I would imagine if she's contracted, she's not driving the big old Amazon things. I I feel like it'd be easy to just go, I got to go run into a grocery store or wherever and drop a load. There's a lot of times around local parks, if you're in a residential, there's porta potties at not all the time, but there is. That I just find that just bizarre. That's the third fucking story of like within 7 days where somebody's pooping. We had the lady, the road rage pooper, that pooped on somebody's hood. We have that lady in, I think it was Australia, that pooped on some dude's driveway. And now we got an Amazon pooper and peer. I'm just imagining though, when the lady is talking about how her husband got her coffee and a pastry, and then he goes out there, finds the poop, and she's like, he had to clean it up. And I'm just like imagining, like, at first he's just like, I ain't gonna pick it up. And she's like, it's fucking Mother's Day. You pick it up. You son of a bitch. I'm taking the kids to my sister's house. What the fuck? That's so bizarre. God damn. Please, guys, stop. Stop pooping. Stop pooping everywhere. Oh, Dan Halen 13. I like that instead of Van Halen. Said every driver has a story about that that said subject that doesn't have a happy ending. To answer the question, not at all every gas station has a bathroom. Okay, you kind of worded that funny, but basically he said every driver has a story about that, and not every gas station has a restroom. Not true. Not every gas station is willing to give you the key, which is if you work at a gas station and you see somebody that's about to shit their pants, don't be an asshole. Give them the key to the bathroom. Every establishment needs a restroom for their employees. That's a law. You have to. What are you going to say? Go dig a hole in the back. I know you're on an 8-hour shift. You either wear a diaper or you dig a hole in the back lot. But I see what you're saying, though. You might be driving along and go, well, fuck. I might not be able to go here because they never give us the fucking key. Oh my God. Say, I feel like that would be one of the hardest things as a driver is knowing that if I eat certain things and I'm on my route, that I have to know where the bathrooms are. Ooh, if you get bubble guts, oh, that's not cool. Not cool. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you responding so quickly. We'll see if anybody else responds later in the show. We'll check on that a little bit later. Oh my God. I've never almost done that at work. I've almost thrown up at work. That sucked. But anyway.
We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello, this is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
What are you thinking about? I love that commercial. Sinking cities. This is kind of a big story going around. Research by Virginia Tech has found that a large amount of these big cities are slowly sinking every year. Now, I'll go through all the cities. I'll tell you how much. And yes, it's a concern, but no, it's a concern. Not a concern. Houston, Fort Worth, and Dallas are the worst ones sinking. And those are big cities. New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Chicago, Seattle, Columbus, and here in Denver. In every city studied, at least 20% of the urban area is sinking. And in 25 of 28 cities, including Denver, at least 65% is sinking. Additionally, areas of Houston and other cities in Texas showed the highest measured rates of subsidence between 5 milliliters and, God, I said that wrong, 5 millimeters to 10 millimeters per year. Rates between 2 and 10 millimeters is basically 0.08 to and 0.4 inches per year. Why it's there's several things. Extraction of groundwater. Basically, you remove that water and the ground kind of sinks down. So what they're saying that you could do to fix the problem, you take water out, you put water back in, type of thing. That could possibly help it. Could. Fingers crossed. Shit, guys, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Denver, along with a few other cities across the nation, the study said the sinking has to do with glacial adjustment, something iostic, a word that I don't know how to pronounce, which is probably an easy word that I don't know how to pronounce, which the National Oceanic and oh my God, I can't fucking speak. Atmospheric Administration describes as ongoing movement of land once burdened by ice age glaciers. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado, said Denver might not be the mile-high city forever. A new study shows it's sinking at the rate of 2 millimeters a year, which we just said. That means this is what he said via his Facebook. That means in just 10,000 years, Denver will be at least 65 feet lower in elevation. It'll be at 5,215 feet high city. Here's the thing. Denver, we shouldn't really worry about it. Obviously, if you live in Colorado, you know a lot of buildings are constantly sinking. Go out to Flatiron Mall in the Broomfield area. Back when I worked there, there used to be a Chipotle there right next to basically just down from the PF Chang's, right? There used to be a Chipotle. I used to work there. That's where I got the nickname Gato, okay? El Gato Grande. So I would work there. The ground was sinking so bad that right before I quit, or I actually moved to a different location, every time it rained, the lobby of that Chipotle would flood with water. And it also got to the point where the doors wouldn't work properly. And Chipotle got out of that lease because they signed like a 20-year lease, and then they got out of it because the ground was shit. They couldn't do their business properly because of shitty ground. And that's just like a normal thing. And now they're saying that like even downtown Denver with all those high rises and stuff, it's sinking and sinking and sinking. Is it something that we really need to freak out about? I don't think so. And you guys know me. I'm a goddamn scientist. Let's get our resident scientist, Neil. Neil, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts about all these cities sinking?
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
You didn't answer the question, Neil. What do you think about it?
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
I don't know why we pay you. I don't know why we pay you, Neil. Oh, we don't pay you. That's right. I don't pay you. Not a goddamn dime. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. 10,000 years. We're going to lose 65 feet. I get it. Eventually, they're going to have to move that little gold plate at the state capitol. They're going to have to move it up a step or something like that says 5280, whatever. Okay, mile high, whatever. No big deal. No big deal. But I imagine the cities like Houston and stuff like that, especially since they're affected by hurricanes quite a bit, being closer to the coast, they're going to see more issues with that type of stuff. So it's something to keep an eye on. I don't see us having, I don't see us noticing it that much in our lifetime. Maybe in a few generations from now, people are going to be more freaked out about it, but I don't know. I don't know. By the way, did you see what is it? Manitou Springs here in Colorado. You can't use water unless it's essential for life and for basic hygiene. You know, brush your teeth, take a bath or shower. Probably take a shower, and it's got to be a quick one because they got no water. They ain't got no water. The irony, they're in springs with no water. Fucking crazy, man. What a weird time. Anyway, you know what? We got more coming your way. The sports section is jammed, and I got a very, very interesting question coming out of the mailbag. But first, you know what? You need some roof repairs. It's nice and sunny around here in the Denver metro area. Might be a good time to have somebody come out and look at your roof and make sure everything's good before we get hit with some storms. And then next thing you know, it's just a giant headache. But so what I'm saying is you need to go with the GOAT when it comes to roof repairs. That's Roof Goat USA. They're amazing. They've been in business for 23 years. They know how it all works. They do. They understand the headaches that comes with fixing a roof. Trust me, I've been there. You need the GOAT. Roof Goat USA. They're all about making sure that the repair, replacement, insurance claims go off without a hitch. Make sure that all that pressure comes off your shoulders, and they're going to make sure that they give you the best, the most reliable and durable solutions to your problems. They prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, making sure your home is well protected against the elements. And I talk about insurance. Insurance isn't always going to be there. We've talked about it. Insurance companies, mine specifically, have talked about, you know what? We're going to start backing out on hail coverage and stuff like that in Colorado, as well as other states. That's why you got to go with the GOAT. They know how to deal with all this stuff. Okay. You guys got to be prepared. Start saving, start putting stuff away for your homes. And you know what? If you talk to Roof Goat USA, they know how to deal with all this stuff. Okay. It's pretty easy, pretty cool what they got going on. Roof Goat USA guarantees their work too. So that's going to put a big, that's going to take off a lot of pressure off your shoulders, because there's a lot of companies out there. Oh yeah, we'll do your roof, but they give you like a 2-year guarantee or a 5-year guarantee. Well, what happens when that guarantee goes out the window? You're screwed. That's why you got to go with the GOAT, Roof Goat USA. There's no fine print on this stuff. No, I almost said a bad word, but I didn't. Okay. They got a 30-year coverage from date of install. That's all materials and labor for 30 years from date of installation. That's pretty darn cool. That's the Roof Goat USA guarantee. They are so freaking awesome over there. For all your roofing needs, go ahead, contact the GOAT, 303-495-4630, or go to roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com. Go ahead, experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. I keep forgetting to play the gosh darn goats. The goats, they're like so sad and lonely. Come here, goats. Come here. Daddy wants to feed you some stuff. That one goes on a little longer than I always expect. I'm like, okay. Shut up, goats. Shut up, goats. I get it. Goat. God, quit interrupting. Son of a gun. These guys. Anyway, yeah, again, go to roofgoatusa.com. Anyway, oh, shoot. Yeah, you know what we need to do, guys? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's jump into some sports.
When it comes to tight ends, going deep in long balls, this guy knows his stuff.
He has followers, and not just on Twitter.
It's Sports with the Huff.
Do you guys ever have somebody that tries to defend you or a product or something, and then you just sit there and go, maybe you just shut your mouth, okay? Maybe stop talking for a bit. I feel like that's what Charles Barkley did the other day. I think it was yesterday when he was on TNT and they bring up the Nuggets and Jokic and stuff like that. Then he says this, and I'm like, I don't think that it had the right outcome. I don't think it had the outcome that he thought it did.
I thought what the NBA did to them was unfair. Making them play late Friday night, then an early afternoon game. I thought that was unfair. I truly believe that.
Both teams had to do it.
Yeah, but they got more depth. They got a much. OKC got 12 players.
Well, play more guys.
No, well, that's
And they're
on
younger.
Denver, and they're younger. But also, Denver has never addressed their backup center situation or their bench. I think that's one of the things that hurt them last year because he gave out a gas last year against Rudy and Big Cat. So I don't think it's fair to blame everything on the Joker, but he has not played well, and I think he's wearing down.
All right. Yes. I feel like he kind of swerved all over the place. You can't sit there and bitch and complain about the schedule. You can't sit there and go, well, our team isn't as stacked. Our bench isn't as good as the Thunder. So don't do that to us, NBA. Don't schedule us so quickly. You can't do that. That's a soft response. I'm very shocked that it came out of Barkley's mouth. I'm wondering if he thought of it on the fly and didn't give much time to process that concept. I will agree with him that Joker has not been playing well. He hasn't. And once he gets his shit straight, yeah. But you better get your shit straight tonight, Jokic, because you sit there and you wait and you wait and you wait. Guess what? It's going to be too late. Strike now. Come on. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, Barkley, come on. I know your heart was in the right place, but I think you kind of dropped the ball on that one. I want the Nuggets to do well, but no excuses. I get sick and tired of everybody bitching about the refs, too. I get it. The refs can slant one way or the other, and they may get fucked up. Well, play better, okay? No excuses. And God damn it, it's getting hard to watch the Nuggets game and seeing Jokic just sit there and bitch and complain. He's turning into LeBron. It pisses me off. It's like, fucking stop. He's sitting there like, oh, God, he touched me. Stop. God damn it. Stop it. Joker. I feel like I'm talking to a kid. Stop it. Enough. Quiet now. Quit bitching. You're going to have it. You're going to have those issues. Let the coach fight that battle, not you. It's tacky, and it makes you look like a bitch. I know that's not a popular thing to say here in Colorado because it being Nuggets Nation. But fucking stop, Joker. We sit there and bag on LeBron, and then you're fucking doing the same goddamn thing. Quit. Everything is like, oh, and then he does that tooth where he sticks out both hands, elbows to his chest, and he's like, why? Why did you do this to me? He's not French. I don't know why I'm making him sound French. Why did you do this to me? Come on, my name is a Joker. You don't know play jokes on me. What is happening? That was terrible impression. But you're welcome. So hopefully the Nuggets can get their shit going. I will say this. I love the game that Aaron Gordon brings. He is fun to fucking watch. Same with Brown. Fucking awesome. I almost called him Charlie Brown for a second. It's like, Charlie Brown, really fucking good. Except for when that bitch takes that ball away from him when he's about to kick the ball. What a bitch. He just wants to kick it. Anyway. The Rockies continue to suck. They lost to the Rangers last night 2-1. Nobody's shocked about that. They have won 7 games. They have. Former Rocky, Ryan Spilborghs, who does a podcast, Spilly on the Rocks, talked about the whole Bud Black firing, and I thought this was some good stuff.
Buddy is one of my favorite people. I've been around in baseball. From the human side, like it stinks to lose people like that. Dave Roberts, Dodgers manager, his quote yesterday was like, Casey Stengel could manage the Rockies, and it's not going to do anything. And he's right. Swapping out a manager is not going to address what's going on here. There's a bunch of things that need to be cleaned up. You probably need more coaches. You probably need more front office. You probably need better processes. You probably need to reevaluate. But based on where the team was at, there was a change that was necessary. Yeah, it makes sense. Good for the Rockies. I'm glad they made a change. But it cannot stop there.
Exactly. Thank you, Spilly. Good job. By the way, check out his podcast, Spilly on the Rocks. He just likes to pop on. Doesn't do like something crazy overthought. He just what needs to be addressed, and that's it. That's it. I like that. Spilly. Go check it out, Spilly on the Rocks, wherever you find your podcast. He's right. Okay. Yeah, you're trying to make a change. I guess I applaud you for that. Now, to say that Bud Black is the sole reason, no. Is he a reason? I guess. But you guys aren't done with the fixes. You're not done. We did that poll the other day. Who do you blame for the Rockies' struggles? Essentially, it's a runaway train with the owners / GMs. It was like 95% of the people that voted for that. Yes, other the coaches, the players should take some responsibility, but ultimately it's just like, who's building the team? Okay? You can't get a bunch of scrubs and go, now go compete. And they're like, what? Okay. These guys are good. We're AA players. We're not even AAA. I shouldn't say that. But, it's just the Rockies are a hot mess. And sadly, I'll say it again before we move on. The only way anything changes over at Coors Field is if the pocketbooks are affected for the Monforts. Okay? That's the only way. I was talking to somebody real quick. I made some notes yesterday. I was talking to somebody. Nate Lundy shared this info for me, or with me. Geez, sorry. The Monforts bought the Rockies for $95 million, okay? Forbes magazine evaluated them recently at $1.5 billion. You could sell the team and have generational wealth for your family. That's huge, okay? Why do you think they're holding on to the team? Doesn't seem like they give a shit about what they're doing, what the product is. Why? What do you do? Just to keep busy? Fucking take up painting, okay? Sculpting, get some, clay and get a wheel, put it in your basement. Well, I don't fucking care. Mow lawns for a living, dick. Monfort. Okay, do that. Something is better than what you're doing now. There's a lot of hobbies you can pick up. But you can't do that. You can't. Maybe they want to pass it down to their kids. That's the only thing I can think of. Doesn't make any sense to me. Rockies are a hot mess. Who's not a hot mess? My son's team, the Wolfpack Little League, they beat the Orioles last night 8-1. Again, proving that they're more exciting than the Colorado Rockies. One of the great moment that had just a heartbreak end was our littlest guy. I call him Big Burrito because every time he gets a big hit, his mom buys him a burrito at Chipotle, which I think is neat. And so that's his nickname is Big Burrito, and he's the smallest guy on the team. He rips one to left field, barely fair. He made a couple of learning moments. Let's just say that. I always tell the kids, stop looking at the ball, run your bases. listen to the coaches and figure out what your moves are. He was staring at the ball, slowed him down significantly. He would have had an inside the park home run. He would have. That's how far he hit it. The littlest guy in the fucking team ripped it. And then we're all telling him as he's headed home, slide, slide, or down, down. And then he just waits till the very last second to slide. If he would have slid, he would have slid underneath the tag and would have got it. Oh my God. So obviously we took our turns talking to him. He was in good spirits. He was happy with what he did. And he's all, after the game, he comes over to me because I tell him, I'm like, dude, hey, I know you didn't score, but I'm proud of you. And I hope you're proud of yourself too. And he goes, I learned some lessons today. So fucking adorable. He's like, I learned some lessons today. Don't look at the ball and slide. I'm like, good for you, bud. Good for you. The Denver Broncos are making some news today, which is great because football's right around the corner. But what are they excited about?
London?
We're going to London?
Yeah, you're going to London, Denver. The Denver Broncos on October 12th are going to head to London to take on the New York Jets, excuse me. So that's pretty cool. The Denver Broncos will also play the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day at Arrowhead. That's a winnable game now. That's a winnable game. Both those games. I'd put money on the Broncos beating the Jets. I mean, they got Justin Fields, right? Or is it Russ? I don't know who the fuck their starting quarterback's going to be. But either way, I feel like the Broncos can go in there and win both of those games. Thankfully, oh my God, thankfully, the Denver Broncos don't have to go to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The Jaguars do come to Denver, but thankfully we don't go out there because otherwise we'd have to listen to the fucking creepy Jaguars coach.
Jacksonville. The community. Duval.
My God, that guy's creepy. Creepy motherfucker. By the way, for the miles traveled in the NFL this upcoming season, the Cincinnati Bengals are at the very bottom. They don't have to travel very much. They're only traveling 8,753 miles for their season. That's pretty good. That's going to be a lot of stress relieved on their part. But if you go up to the very top, one, you could say the Denver Broncos, they're at 23,267 miles. KC's right underneath them. But the very top is the Chargers at 37,086 miles that they're going to travel this year. That's a lot. Followed by the Rams, Seahawks, and Jags. That's crazy. That's got to be a lot of wear and tear on you physically and mentally as a player. So that's kind of disturbing. You know what we need to do? Disturbing. Sorry, I was sidetracked. I'm getting texts and somebody's calling me. So I gotta stay focused. I do. Stay focused. Task at hand. Focus. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
This comes in from Dougie Doug. Dougie Doug, the future DJ name. God, man. Dougie Doug, if you're not a DJ, I'm disappointed in you. What's up? It's Dougie Doug spinning hot wax. Anyway, he said, did you see Trump fell asleep at the Saudi Arabia briefing? Big deal or no? That's an interesting question. The first thing that popped in my mind is, first of all, I've done that before. The worst time I fell asleep was when I was in, I want to say 7th or 8th grade, so in middle school. And my teacher was giving a lecture on the Holocaust, okay? And he's a very proud Jewish man. Good dude. But I had stayed up all night, probably playing Nintendo or masturbating. I don't know, maybe a mixture of both. But either way, I fell asleep in one of the back I might be the chair with my back to the wall. And I'm sitting there listening, and it's those things where those moments where you kept nodding, you keep nodding, you're like, oh, I want to stay awake, but I can't. I can't. Right? I did that, and apparently I fell asleep and I started to snore. I am not fucking joking. I started to snore. And one of my buddies hits me, and he used to call me Huffy. He's like, Huffy, knock it off. And he's trying not to laugh because he knows he must have seen me like trying not to doze off. And I'm like, my eyes are like wide open. And my teacher at that moment was like, I don't know who did that. This is unacceptable. And I'm like, it was me. And because he describes that he's like, somebody was, pretending to snore. I'm like, I was really snoring. I fell asleep. I felt like shit. Never owned up to it. I should have. That would have been the responsible thing, mature thing to do. But I was in 7th and 8th grade. I had no balls. I had no sense of responsibility to say, hey, I fucked up. I felt terrible. I still feel terrible about it to this day. So I get it. I know a lot of people are like, dude, it's super disrespectful. But we've all been there, right? Where you shouldn't be. And you're listening and you're doing your best. You're like, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. I'm so tired. I shouldn't have been up, surfing TikTok all night. I'm sure that's what Trump was doing. TikTok. Is he on TikTok? I don't know. He's on Twitter or whatever his thingy is. He has his own platform. I don't hold it against him. Whether you like his policies or not, I can't. As somebody that has been severely exhausted, coming from the radio world where I was waking up every day at 2:30 in the morning, doing my shift, doing stuff around the house, and then trying to participate in my family's lives. And then, like, next thing you know, I'm so exhausted. I'm sitting there trying to have a conversation with somebody, and I can't. I was remembering the other day that there would be times where I'd be walking around my house and I didn't realize it until my wife brought it up. I was so tired, I was like dragging my feet as I walked. So I can't bag on somebody for being tired. People are like, that's not jet lag. That's just being disrespectful. Listen, yeah, he's a dick. Okay? He's very aggressive business guy. But I can't bag on him for this. I don't know his schedule. I don't know, his sleep patterns, okay? None of us do. I can't bag on him for that. I will bag on him for this real quick. Did you see I can't remember which country is gifting the Defense Department this flying palace, essentially, to help replace Air Force One. Because Air Force One, they have like 2 planes. They're like over 40 years old. They're fucking ancient. And they're like, here, I don't know what country it is. Here is a golden palace for your Defense Department. Right? And they're like, yeah, okay, cool, thanks. So he's like, yeah, I'll use it. And then when I'm done with my term, I'm going to keep it. That's where I'm like, okay, that's a little fucked up. Some people were mad initially because they're like, oh, you shouldn't accept the gift. But then it's like, oh, yeah, accept the gift. Come on, there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with it is you don't hold on to it because if I read this right, it's a gift for the Defense Department, not him individually. If it was a gift to him individually, yeah, go ahead, use it as your, spend the money, your own money on, making it secure and all that stuff and use it as your plane. That's cool. Then you can keep it afterwards. But if it's a gift to the Defense Department, you can't fucking keep it. Now, the big thing that goes along with that, people are like, so whoever I can't remember the president that accepted the Statue of Liberty from France. They're like, so should he have taken the Statue of Liberty home with him after his term? That would have been kind of cool. That would have been a baller move. Be like, well, it's mine now, huh? How many companies like you get something cool, like a small comparison? Back in the day when I worked at Jamba Juice, we won a trophy for being in the Broomfield Days Parade. It was some like category. I don't remember what it was, but it was a huge trophy. Then when I quit and a bunch of other people quit, they're like, oh, I wish we had that trophy. You're like, we should go steal it. We should have kept it. No, you can't do that because it's the companies. That's it's the same thing. It's the United States. It's not yours, dude. Come on. Unless I'm missing some fine print that it was actually just given to him. If it's just given to him, then yeah, sure, go ahead. That makes sense. Am I wrong on that? Am I wrong on that? I think it's kind of a dick move. But you're not surprised, are you? You're not. No. Listen, even the hardcore MAGA people are like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's kind of a dick move. They did give it to everybody. And then you're like, you know what? No, it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. That's a fine looking airplane. I can't do a Trump impression. I can't. God damn it. As much as I want to, I can't. Anyway, there you go. If you want to interact with the show, I love it when you guys do it. It's so nice to hear from you. Dougie Doug, thanks. As well as Dave. It was David. Excuse me. David, thank you so much. As well. Oh, let's check in real quick. On Twitter to see if any other delivery drivers have tuned in or chimed in. My God, my brain is just saying random things. Poop, slut. Wow. Did I say poop, slut? The fuck? See? I don't get what's happening. What happened to my brain? I need some vitamins or something. Jesus Christ. And now my computer's Guns, God, and Freedom wrote, that's never been an issue. And he has a milk jug that is half full of urine. I like that one. That's funny. Michael Miller wrote, never thought about it before, but now I need answers. Ev Pillar wrote, not that type of driver, but you always know the right spots on route. However, want to get done, so you just keep going. LOL. Yeah. See, that's the thing, is I imagine the sooner you're done with your route, the sooner you can go home type of thing. Is that the way it goes? Boy, that's got to be tough. God, my brain. Guns, God, and Freedom. I think he has it right. That's the way I would do it. But guys, the delivery driver in our story today from Amazon, that was a female driver. It's not as easy. Ladies, have you ever peed in a bottle while you're driving? Can't imagine it's very, very easy. You got to scoot up to the edge and really just go, okay, this is happening. Don't spill. Guys, it's a lot easier. Some of you guys, it's really easy. You're just like, implying that they have a massive hog. Some of us, it's really difficult. Scoot over to the edge. Is it in? I can't tell. It's weird. Such a weird thing. Yeah, I think if I was a delivery driver, if I had to pee, I'd probably just do the jug. But the taking a dump thing would be, I don't know about that one. Just get a bucket. Then you got to dump it. That's just gross. That's just disgusting. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you all for chiming in. That was a lot of fun. Really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe and click the like button wherever you're consuming this, whether you're listening or watching. Big thanks to Roof Goat USA. Check them out at roofgoatusa.com. Also, big thanks to Kirkwall Group. Go to kirkwallgroup.net. You guys are amazing. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.